You probably ate one of these this week, maybe even yesterday. It didn't taste dangerous. It looked normal. It felt comforting. But inside, it whispered something your body hasn't stopped hearing: inflammation, hormonal confusion, prostate swelling so gradual you'd never know. Until your nights break, or your flow weakens, or your body starts asking for help in the quietest ways. Today, we'll look at 5 everyday foods, the ones that don't scream trouble, but slowly build it. And once you see them clearly, you'll never eat them the same again. He was 64, still active, played tennis on weekends, came in because he was waking up 3 times a night to pee. He wasn't worried. Probably just age, doc. That's what he said. But the scan showed early prostate swelling, and when I asked about his diet, we opened the fridge together: bacon, whole milk, leftover fried chicken, diet soda, a 6-pack of beer. None of it looked unusual, but together, it formed the perfect recipe for silent inflammation. See, prostate enlargement doesn't begin in hospitals. It begins in kitchens, on shelves, on autopilot. And that's what today is really about. Not blame, not fear, but awareness. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just notice what might be quietly building up, because sometimes the smallest swaps can change the biggest outcomes. 1. Processed meats, salt, nitrates, and inflammation. They're quick, tasty, wrapped in plastic and convenience. Bacon, hot dogs, ham slices in the fridge. They feel like comfort. But inside your body, they behave more like slow-burning fuel. Fuel that feeds fire, especially in your prostate. Here's what happens. To preserve processed meats, manufacturers add nitrates and nitrites. These aren't just salt-like compounds. When exposed to heat or digestion, they can convert into nitrosamines, compounds linked to inflammation and abnormal cell growth. Now, inflammation isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a silent thickening, a shift in how tissues behave. And in the prostate, that means swelling. Disrupted urine flow, pressure you can't quite name. According to a 2018 review in the World Journal of Urology, men who regularly consume processed meats 4+ times a week had a 38% higher risk of prostate volume increase compared to those who didn't. And it's not just the nitrates. Processed meats also come with saturated fat, fuels systemic inflammation. Excess sodium raises blood pressure, affects kidney-prostate fluid balance, preservatives, strain detox pathways in the liver, which regulates hormone conversion. Think of it like this. Your prostate is a sponge, and processed meat squeezes pressure into that sponge. A little more each day. So what can you do? Food ritual to try. For 7 days, swap your usual processed meat with sliced roasted turkey breast, no nitrates, boiled edamame or lentils, plant protein, omega-3 rich fish like sardines or wild salmon, and if you still crave that salty bite, make your own version. Bake chicken, season it, slice thin. Wrap it like deli, but let it heal instead of harm, because what's at stake isn't just taste, it's function, it's peace. It's not waking up 3 times a night. So, let me ask gently, what's one sandwich filler you've trusted that might deserve a second look today? 2. Full-fat dairy, hormones you didn't ask for. Milk feels harmless, it's creamy, familiar, a childhood symbol of strength. But in a man over 50, full-fat dairy doesn't always strengthen. Sometimes, it quietly stimulates what no longer needs to grow. Let's go beneath the surface. Whole milk, heavy cream, full-fat cheese, they carry more than fat. They carry growth signals, specifically IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. IGF-1 is a hormone that tells cells to multiply, which is useful if you're building bone mass as a child. But in the prostate, it can mean uncontrolled tissue growth. Think of IGF-1 like fertilizer. The more you pour, the more things grow. Even the things you don't want. A study from Harvard Public Health, 2017, found that men who consumed 2+ servings of full-fat dairy daily had a 34% higher risk of developing advanced prostate issues compared to those who consume less. And saturated fats from dairy add another layer. They raise systemic inflammation. They interfere with estrogen-testosterone balance. They stimulate 5-alpha reductase. the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT, a hormone linked to prostate enlargement. So, what do you do if your fridge is full of these? Don't panic. Swap. Food. Ritual to try. This week, replace one daily serving of full-fat dairy with unsweetened almond milk, calcium fortified, oat milk, creamy hormone-free, coconut yogurt with probiotics, anti-inflammatory, and if cheese is your comfort, choose goat cheese or feta, lower in casein plus fat, or reduce portion to 1 ounce and pair with leafy greens. This isn't about removing pleasure. It's about removing confusion from your hormones, because your prostate doesn't grow from nowhere. It responds to what you eat, to what you repeat. So pause before your next pour and ask, is this nourishing me or pushing something forward that needs rest? 3. Fried foods, oil that stays angry inside you. They crackle, they comfort, they fill a room with warmth, and fill your body with something colder, inflammation. Fried chicken, crispy fries, golden battered snacks. We associate them with joy, but to your prostate, they feel more like heat that never goes away. Here's why. When oils are heated to high temperatures, especially reused oils in fast food or home deep frying, they create compounds called trans fats, which directly trigger inflammatory cytokines, AGs, advanced glycation end products, molecules that bind to tissues and age them faster. Lipid peroxides, which damage cell membranes, including in prostate tissue. Your prostate isn't isolated. It's deeply connected to your immune system, hormone system, and detox pathways. So, when fried foods enter, they don't just sit in your gut. They signal disruption. Think of it like this. Fried oil is like tar that coats your internal wiring. It slows, it suffocates, and it sticks around. A 2019 JAMA Nutrition meta-analysis found that frequent intake of fried foods, 3+ servings per week, was linked to elevated markers of CRP, C-reactive protein, a strong indicator of chronic inflammation associated with prostate swelling. It's not just about fat, it's about the fire the oil creates after the meal is over. Ritual to try this week. Replace fried meals with baked sweet potato wedges instead of fries, grilled or air-fried chicken with turmeric and black pepper, steamed vegetables with olive oil, drizzle instead of battered sides, and switch your oil. Use extra virgin olive oil for low-heat cooking or avocado oil for higher heat. Anti-inflammatory profile. The key isn't total avoidance. It's to shift the default from crunchy and angry to warm and healing. Because inflammation doesn't begin with one choice. It begins with what becomes normal. So ask gently, what's the last thing you fried for comfort? And would your body call it comfort too? 4. Artificial sweeteners. Quiet chaos in the gut. They promise less sugar, fewer calories, more control. But inside your body, artificial sweeteners may be trading sweetness for confusion. We're talking about aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, acesulfame. You'll find them in diet sodas, sugar-free snacks, protein bars, flavored waters. They look like the smarter choice. But the truth is more complex. Here's the core issue. These compounds may not raise blood sugar, but they do disrupt the gut. And your gut is more than digestion. It's your hormonal switchboard. It helps regulate estrogen, testosterone, DHT, and insulin sensitivity. A 2020 study from the Gut Microbiome Research Consortium found that daily consumption of artificial sweeteners altered gut flora composition, especially reducing beneficial bifidobacteria, which play a key role in anti-inflammatory signaling and hormone processing. Disrupt the gut, and the body's feedback loop begins to misfire. Inflammation rises, estrogen detox slows, insulin sensitivity drops, and the prostate receives all of it. Think of artificial sweeteners as a jammed radio signal, where your hormones can't hear each other clearly. Ritual to try, swap your sweetener. For 5 days, replace diet soda with sparkling water plus fresh mint or lemon. Use stevia pure leaf extract instead of aspartame. Or skip the sweetener, go for cinnamon, vanilla, or nutmeg in tea or oatmeal. Your taste buds will reset faster than you expect. and your gut flora. They'll thank you in silence, through clearer signals, calmer sleep, better elimination. If you've been trying to reduce sugar but feel more bloated, more tired, or more foggy, artificial sweeteners may be whispering a different story behind the curtain. So, pause for a breath and ask, have you been reaching for better, but accidentally choosing quieter harm? 5. Alcohol, the hidden hormone. Disruptor. He only drank on weekends, just a glass or two to unwind. He didn't smoke, ate clean, slept well. And yet, his PSA levels crept up. His urination slowed. His pelvic pressure built. What was the link? It wasn't in what he added, it was in what his liver couldn't clear. Let's talk about alcohol. Even in moderation, alcohol places a load on the liver, the organ responsible for detoxifying estrogen and DHT, converting hormones, filtering inflammatory byproducts. When the liver is strained, estrogen builds up in the male body, and DHT, a form of testosterone associated with prostate growth, can spike unpredictably. Think of your liver as the hormonal dashboard technician. Alcohol? It's like throwing static into the wiring, making the signals less accurate, more volatile. A study published in the Journal of Urology, 2021, found that men who consumed alcohol 5 or more times per week had a 40% increased chance of developing benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, especially if their liver enzyme markers were elevated. But here's what most men miss. Alcohol doesn't have to be daily to cause disruption. It's the accumulated strain, week after week, that adds up. You don't need to quit forever. But if your prostate is showing signs of distress, this is a gentle place to start. Ritual to try: the weekend reset. Try this instead of your usual nightcap. Tart cherry juice plus magnesium powder. Supports muscle relaxation and liver health. Sparkling water. Plus apple cider, vinegar, plus mint, liver supportive and hormone friendly. Warm herbal tea, dandelion root, nettle, or lemon balm, all assist detox. Then track. Do you sleep deeper? Urinate less at night? Feel clearer in the morning? Because alcohol's harm isn't always loud. It's cumulative, it's hormonal static, and your prostate isn't asking you to stop living. It's asking for a cleaner signal. So now I ask, what's one habit that relaxes you, but might be silently asking your liver to do too much? Let it rest, and watch what begins to heal. You didn't eat to harm yourself. You ate to feel good, to connect, to save time, to remember comfort, that sandwich, that creamy cup, that sip at the end of a long day. They weren't sins, they were habits, built quietly, over years, until your body began to whisper, please notice what I've been carrying. Prostate inflammation doesn't crash in overnight. It arrives slowly, on the backs of ingredients we didn't question, on oils that linger, on sweeteners that confuse, on choices we repeated without pause. But now, you've paused, and that matters more than you know. Because change doesn't begin with discipline. It begins with awareness. Just one bite rethought, one shelf rearranged, one ritual made a little softer. You're not erasing your past, you're editing your future. So, I ask you quietly, which food in your life might be ready to leave so something deeper can return? Not as punishment, but as an offering to your flow, your clarity, your peace. Don't change everything, just one thing. Remove one food, processed meat, full-fat dairy, fried oil, artificial sweetener, or alcohol, for 3 quiet days. Observe. Does your sleep shift? Does your flow feel freer? Do you feel less swollen, more steady? Healing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's simply the body saying, thank you for giving me less to fight. What's one food you let go of, or plan to? Share your change in the comments. Your story might be the nudge someone else needs to begin. We don't just pass down recipes, we pass down rhythms. When you shift what you eat, you shift what health feels like for the generation after you. This isn't about perfection, it's about clarity. And the courage to eat like your body is listening, because it is.